Biology chapter 18, theory video 19. Controlling alien species. So alien species are the invasive species. So that is the species who are not the original inhabitants of a habitat, or who have been introduced from one ecosystem to another, uh, where they are previously unknown. So most often it's the human beings who are responsible for the new invasive species being introduced from one place to another. And what they do is, because they don't have natural predators, or because they have a lot of food availability, plants and animals both, they thrive, and as a result uh, the endemic plants, they will die off as a result. And the plants and animals who call that place home would die off. Now uh, there are these animals could be introduced by knowingly or unknowingly. Sometimes these rats have been introduced throughout the world by ships, because these rats will be rats can infest ships, and when they go to the harbor of another country, they will be they are able to escape and uh, breed in those places. Now there are many examples for these different animals who are being introduced to other places. Now this Indian mongoose was introduced to Jamaica in 1872 to control rats. And as a result, because they were successful in doing that, they were introduced to other parts of the world. But now mongoose have become a predator of other animals. So then there is another animal known as cane toad, introduced to Queensland in Australia from Hawaii, uh, to um, control the insect pest of sugarcane. But so they actually spread so rapidly, but they actually started killing off many of the other carnivorous animals, because these cane toad have very powerful toxins on it, and whatever, if you eat these toads, you will die. So whoever eats these animals, whoever eats these toads will die. So there are a northern coal, a kind of a carnivorous dog kind of an animal. They die off because they tend to eat these animals. Then also these cane toads are responsible for eating the chicks of ground nesting birds, and also rainbow bee eater uh, is an example for that bird, so that they eat. And also they said to be competing for food with the other different types of amphibians and toads who are there, and they also are threatened. Then red lion fish is uh, is a native species in Southeast Asia, but they were introduced to the Caribbean somehow, and they start eating these different species on coral reefs. So the Jamaican government has persuaded people to kill them, and also to eat if they are able to if people started eating these fish, then they will find it a delicacy and would eat it off. So they are actually doing that as well. um, then these invasive species thrive in these places because they don't have any predators in this place, and can, as a result, will push the other species who call that home into extinction. Then invasive plants are what we discussed for invasive animals. Now to talk about invasive plants, the water hyacinth, it is a floating aquatic plant, even found in Sri Lanka, but it was first introduced from Japan apparently. So these actually spread very rapidly when introduced to a new habitat. It blocks sunlight uh, from reaching the uh, bottom of the water, so it kills off the native aquatic plants and also the fish. And it also provide habitat for mosquito larvae. uh, so it should be gotten rid of. Then Japanese knotweed is another different type of plant that was introduced, that has been that actually has strong roots which actually can damage buildings, roads and walls. And also they compete with the natural compete for the natural habitat with other species who are present in there. Write down a note. Controlling of alien species is a very important thing that needs to be carried out to make sure that the original inhabitants or native species of plants and animals can survive. Because they would not have natural predators when introduced to a new place, new habitat. They will thrive and increase in number, destroying the ecological balance of that ecosystem. Examples of invasive species are cane toad introduced to Australia, Indian mongoose introduced to Jamaica, red lionfish introduced to Caribbean, water hyacinth all over the world, and Japanese knotweed again all over the world. I hope you understood. Please do question number 21 if you have understood.